Hello, everyone. This is Precious with my immigrant diary, and this is Capsim Global Simulation Round 1. If you've seen my introductory video, I mentioned that I was going to share an hack for you to improve your score. I'm going to be taking you through the decisions on my Round 1. It's important to note that if you have had the practice round, then you need to have practice round 1 open while making this decision. So I'm going to exit. I'm going to go to the report, and I'm going to go to simulation report. On the right hand side of my screen is the report of all the practice round that we had. And now on the left hand side is where I have the actual simulation that will be scored by my professor. And so I'm going to open round 1. In the introductory video, I talked about round 0 and the data and some of the points that you need to have in mind. So please go view the introductory video. So round 1, this is a practice round. You can see the sales figure for every team is different. Digby in this case is leading. So there's so much to learn from this data. The market share has changed. Andrews has 16.4. Digby has 23.7. Harris and Ferris have 17.2 and 15. And these are computer generated results. So because the team really have 4 actual teams, these other 2 teams are AI generated. So we're actually competing with AI in this case. So I'm going to share some hack from these data. But first, let's go. Let's open the 0 round for the actual simulation that we have to do. So it's very similar or identical to the practice round anyways. Same score. Go see the introductory video. I mentioned all of these. I don't want to go back into them. I just want to go into the simulation. So in the simulation, now this is what we have, right? R&D is the first thing, which is research and development. For every product that's released in the market, you first have to develop what people want, what customers want, right? So that's where we have the customer buying criteria. So the first thing for the low tech market, what's important to them is price. Low tech market price, you have 55%, 50% and 60% in China. So this is very important to them. The next thing is age, which is the product is about 3 years old. Ideal position 5.3, 5.3. It's tall eyes on their list, and service life 9%, not a lot, but it counts, right? So if you follow closely, you realize that the report for 0, which is this round 0, comes with equal sales, like I mentioned in the introductory video. But at this time in the research and development, the speed, the accuracy, and the age are all equal at this point 6.4, 6.2, 21,000, right? So this is the end of 2025. That's why if you go into the simulation actual, you will see it's 2026. So this is the plan for 2026, basically. So we're probably sometime in December having our end of year planning session for 2026. That's what this actually means, right? So we're trying to develop a product or improve our current product. Now, the speed and the accuracy is at 6.6, but this product, according to the report, if I go back to it, shows down all the way. If you scroll all the way to the end, not to the end, but I'll get there. I'll show you. At this point, we have one product called Able, and it shows us that Able is an high-tech product. Even though it was sold in both the low and the high-tech market, it's an high-tech product. That's what it shows. And you can see right here, this is the low-tech market. 973 copies were sold in round 0, and 533 copies were sold in the high-tech market in round 0. That's right. So, but the thing about the high-tech product is as it ages, it drops into a low-tech product, right? So the question is, how do we position this product? How do we design it? How do we, what market do we want to target? The high tech market is the ideal position is the highest on their list, 8.1, 8.1 in 2020, in 2026. But the low tech market, the ideal position is third on their list of, their desires, which is 5.3. Um, for high tech product, 0 years. That's what the customer wants. A service life of 17,000, 23,000. So ideally, what I would do is to Able is existing, Able is going to be getting older. So I would rather focus on developing a new product for high tech market and let Able gradually just, you know, fill the low tech market. If you look at the perpetual map at the moment, Able is right here and it's looking more like an high tech product than a low tech product, right? So the ideal position, I'd rather focus on a low tech market mainly, which is 5.3, accuracy 5.3. Now, if I do that, I want to show you something, right? The revision date will be in October 2026. What this means is no changes will occur until October 2026. That means from January 2026, the product remains the same until October 2026 before this change happens. So I will only have 3 months, November, 2 months to sell what the customer wants for 2026. That's what it means. But that's not good business. That's not good effort. Plus, I would have spent $11 million in making this change. And guess what? Every year or every round, the customer's buying criteria changes. Not everything, but two main things change: the ideal position and the service life. So, strategically, I'd rather position this product for 2027 so that I don't spend all the investment just to gain 2 months of market shares, only for the ideal position to change in year 2027, which is round two. So round two, this will move by 0.5. So for low tech product, the ideal position moves by 0.5 and the accuracy move by 0.5 every year. Why for high tech market, the ideal position moves by 0.7, speed 0.7, accuracy 0.7. So in 2027, for the high tech market, the ideal position will be 8.8. Now, this is where you begin to make strategic decisions for your R&D. In this case, I rather position review it for 5.8. Also, because for the low tech market, ideal position is the third, is on the, in terms of priority, price is the highest, not the ideal position. So price and age gives you almost over 70% of the desires of the customer. And that's where I'm really targeting because that's where the bulk of the volume is at. So I'm positioning this product at 5.8 because I think it's closer to 5.3 and it positions me better for training for round two and also for round three. Because note, I'm also competing with other um, team or other companies in this case. But the revision date will be in June, interestingly. So in June 2026, this product will be available closer to what the customer desire, and I can also still sell in 2027, which is exactly what they desire. So that is why I would do this. Now, because the customer service life is 20,000 and 14,000, 20,000, I'll remove the service life to 20,000 and let's see what happens. Let's say 20, let's do 2019 when 950. So it's moved from June 1st to June 16. It's okay. Age will be 1.8 as at June. The age will change to 1.8 as at June 2026, which you can see on the age profile. But at the end of the year, it will be at 2.3, which is not bad, close to 3 years. But guess what? In 2027, it will be in 3 years. It will be at the exact ideal position. So we will be good, right? So that's the way I'll position this. And still, I'll only spend 11 million for this. Now, regional kits, the thing with regional kit is the advantage is it gives you 10% boost for every region, but it adds 3 months to the delivery of this new product. So if I click on US, it jumps from June to September. And if I add Germany, it jumps to December and also increases the age. And I don't know what my competitors are doing at the moment. We all have equal market shares, right? So I'd rather just, you know, not take that 10%. I might be able to get more than that without doing anything, because if the other team members and the other um, competitors don't make the right decisions, I can take all of the market. Okay, so this round R&D, these are decisions I'll make, and I'll move to marketing. So marketing in the US. Note, if you have seen the introductory video and if you look closely at the report, at round zero, we are all only in the US market. So, right, US market, we sold in the last report for $32. And the low tech market, if you come to the lower right hand side, you see the price for the low tech market is $15 to $35. While for the high tech market, it's $25 to $45. So I want to be able to stay in both market at the moment. And so I would stay close to the high tech market, stay within the low tech market and the high tech market. So I will offer at 34.25, just because I don't know what my competitors are doing. So I don't want to be too far. So I'll stay in the middle. Promo budget, we spent 1 million. And it's important to read the additional information if you're not sure. But what it says is for every 1 million spent, I get an increased awareness of 22%. And for the second $1 million, I get 23%. For the third $1 million, I get 5%. So why would I want to spend 3 million when I'm only going to get 5% at the end of the day? So I would move this by, I'll get aggressive a bit because I'm trying to get first, it's the first round, trying to get as much market. So let's leave this at this. I want 850 because most people will do 1.5. Why did I say most people will do 1.5? Now, remember I said the importance of the practice round. Now, if you go to the practice round and look at the report and see what your competitors did in the practice round. So this is a practice round. This is now where you begin to take the advantage of this and hack the game. So in the low tech market, right? This Able is my product. You can see that sales and promo budget. Able spent 1.5. They spend 2,000. Fast is AI 1,350. Each 1,400. So you can see, but you can also see that the percentage accessibility is 44%, 30%, even though he spent $2 million, but note the price was really high. So in the low tech market, price is key. So that's why you have this. But for promo budget, was still about the same amount, and accessibility to about 73%. So top of my head, you're thinking most teams will do around the same figure again, to maintain the same maybe market caps. And so I would put it at 1.8, 1.8 million, 1.5, 1.8 million. Now, for forecast, right? How do we decide or determine the amount to produce, to forecast, to market? So if you look at the report from round zero, which is this report, right? You got to go to round zero to see. So when everyone had equal market share, what do we sell, right? When we had equal market share in the low tech market, it was 973. In the high tech market, it was 535, 533. Now the market The total market size is 5,833, which is going to grow by 6% for the low tech market. If you do 6%, that's about 1.6 million. And the low tech market will grow by 13%, which is about 3.6 million. So you do the math, equal market share to be able to identify your market um share. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm just going to, put the figure right there. So we're expected to get about 1,630, about that figure, somewhere around there. But so that's what is expected for all. That's what we're expecting to get this year, 2026, based on the data. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll leave it at this for now. I'm going to come back to this and show you why I'm going to move this even further. Right? So, okay, why would I move it further? Why would I do that? I'll tell you. This is where you begin to act. Now, if I go to the practice round, in the practice round, this is only the US market. We don't have Germany and China yet, right? So in the US market, we look at it closely. It says we're going to sell 1.6. We don't want to stretch it too far, right? We don't want to stretch it too far. So for the US market, we say, okay, because we increase our marketing cost and we are positioned for the low tech market, we can stretch it by maybe 10%, right? Or maybe 20%. So we can stretch it. Not too far, but yeah. So that's why we're stretching it, because we've increased our promo budget and sales budget. So that's why we're doing that. But now remember, we're going to go into the Germany market. So how do we decide what we're going to sell? So we're going to add the Germany market to it. We know from the report, the German market size is 911, and it's going to grow by 20%. But we also know that no one is in the market. We all have equal market shares. So we're going to increase it by 20% and split it into 6 to be able to determine our market share for Germany. And so that's how we arrive at our market share for Germany, right? So multiply this by 20%, divide by 6, you get your market share. So we do that. Give me a second. So our market share for Germany is 183 for the low tech market, and for the high tech market, we do the same maths. There's no one in the market. We all have equal share of the market. In the total market share is 747. You multiply it, you get the increase of 35%, which is about 1,008, which is 1,000,008. You divide that by 6, you get your own part of the market share, which is 106. So the total market share for Germany, as at round zero, equal share for all companies, is 352. But to act this, if you have just 4 teams like I did, then you go to the practice round practice round 1, which I have open, right? If you go to Germany, you would see what happened in the practice round. So in the practice round, there were only 4 players, but you were 6, or you are 6. So only 4 people entered the market. 2 companies didn't. So if you look at this, what you realize, and what I realized, is Ferris, which is one of the AI companies, did not, because it's computer based. It's computer doing that. It just didn't. It is the other the other AI company. It's in here, and one of the team members didn't, which is Able. My team, we didn't. So To be conservative, I can split this market like I did into six, right? And I can take the fairest share. But to be conservative, instead of adding another 350, I would do a 50%, which would give me about 125. Add that to 350. What do I get? I get about 480, 500. So that would be the figure. So the forecast for Germany should be around 500. Let's just say five. Let's do about 520. Market, the same thing. It was $1,000 that was spent in the initial round. So just we don't know. We don't want to spend too much, especially the size of the Germany market. So what's the price? Same strategy with the first one. We're staying between the low and the high tech market. Low tech market for Germany, 25 to 45 euro. The same thing, 15 to 35 euros. So stay somewhere around 30, 35, that 34. Yeah, something like that. That will keep us close, right? So 34, 25. Yeah, let's say, yeah. Okay. Then we'll go to the China market. The same strategy as what will apply. We look at for the forecast, we go to China, we notice the same thing in China, right? In the low tech market, you notice there are only three players. So out of six, three players going to get into the market. One is computer, two are team members. So let's be conservative and say, okay, the team member is going to realize that, and in the actual simulation, the four team will get into the market, but one of the computer team will not. So we're going to take that market, right? And so in doing that, the same math, multiply the increase, divide the market by six, and take 50% of that just to be conservative, right? So if we do that, um, the low tech market for China, which is 1,193, which is actually 1,193,000, 45% increase will give us. Also, I'm sorry, this is not the actual data I should be using. This is data for the ARC, but I need to go back to the round zero to get that number. So that was the increase actually. This was the increase. Okay, this is also good. Okay, use it. So this is the increase that we're working with. So this is round one. Let's see it again. China. Yeah, so this is round one. This is the increase from round zero. So this is the number we're working with. We split that into four before round one. So we'll get like 183. Then we'll go to the high tech market. This is 347. You split that by three, by six, we get about 60, right? So for the high tech market, for the China market, it should be 260, right? So yeah, 260. But because split six ways, 260 each. But because we know that one of the computer generated computing company did not partake in this market, we can take 50% of that. If you had that to 260, I mean, you can just play with the number and say 130, 140. So that gives us 400, right? So you can go so that's how, add China to the market, put 400, um, right? But I'm a bit aggressive, even though I'm conservative, right? So because I'm a bit aggressive, I've I'm thinking the teams will not act as I am acting. So yeah, I would just probably make it 480 just because I can. Just because we're going aggressive a little bit, or then because we're conservative and aggressive at the same time. So for the marketing budget, remember there's also exchange rate to consider. So you just don't want to spend, but like I said, we're trying to get market share in the first round. So I'll just move it and leave it at $1,000, $1,000, maybe 1,100. I'll leave it at that for now. I'll come back to this, and Production. So now this is as a result of the forecast, right? So if you remember the forecast for the US markets, right? We're aggressive, so 17.20. So production, we had leftover from the round zero. So we're going to produce, now we don't want this a lot. So we have to consider defect. So there's 4% defect. So yeah, you have to consider 4% defect. So, but yeah, this should do for now. 4% defect from 91, which is about um, about 8%. Yeah, so this fine. So for the Germany forecast is 520. 520. Let's see what do we have now. Okay, 580. I'll leave it at that. 4% effect. Okay. China. Oh, China is 6% effect. So China, we're going for 480. Let's see now. China 5. Let's see, was 550. We can leave it at that for now. Yep. Where should we look at our plant? You can look at it in China. I'll leave it in US because if you pick China, there's the shipping, the cost of shipping to consider. The hourly wage in US, yes, China is lower. The effect rate is 4%. But the major thing I will look at is the volume of the market. So if I'm going to sell more in US, why will I take on this cost and tariff? Right? I rather leave the factory in US and export to China and Germany because the volume of the market size will cannot compensate compared to the US. So that's why I will leave it in the US. So capacity right now we're doing 170 of our capacity. So so basically you can do two shifts. So 170% of the capacity. So 100 we can produce we're going to produce 2,890. That's what it means. But always note your capacity will be doubled. Whatever number you pick, it is you can produce double with two shifts. So always consider that. I'll just do 50 because I still have 30% capacity I'm not using, and by the size of the growth of the market, I don't think I'll need a lot of capacity in the coming year. And I'm suspecting I will have leftover because of this strategy and aggressiveness. But even if I don't, I'll be in a better standing than any of the team. But if I do, then yeah, I'll be in a safe place by not having too many capacity. Automation helps improve, the way your production is done and reduces the costs, per labor costs. So I'll increase automation really, but I'll just do one increase because I also don't want to spend too much until I see what the other teams are doing. Just don't want to invest in plants, machineries, only to find out that the teams are as aggressive as I am. So I'm just being conservative. Some strategy would be to be aggressive, but I'm being conservative. I'll see what they do in the first round to be able to determine what I'll do in round two. And so I'll probably go this way, instead of maxing out the amount I can spend for plant and capacity, right? So this is what I would do. Then I'll go to finance. Yeah, because it's a young company, but it's not brand new. So I'm not going to sell shares. I'm just going to because I'm investing in capacity and automation and plants. Basically, I rather just take all of the long term debt. This is because of the fact that we're investing in plants and machinery. And this gives us time to pay, even though it's 80%, 8%. But for current debt, short-term debt, you have to pay next year. So if you don't have a good cash position, it's going to reduce it. I don't want to do that. Wait to see what happens the first round to take that decision in the second round. So somewhere you need to always check to see how you're doing, and don't get fooled by it because you still need to make the right decision. If I go to Proforma right now is saying I'm at 48%. That's the score. That's where it's looking. It's not good. I want to be at 70. Income is saying I'm going to generate about $85,000 in sales. I like that. But at the end of the day, my net profit is just 1 million. Now, this is millions actually. 1.9 million. This is too small. It's not good. So, but also your balance sheets. Oh, man, I'm looking at this. It's not very good. I got to review this, right? So this is important. This is why you look at the finance, look at the score, internal business process, market share growth. I see it's good. Contribution margin is not good. I got to find a way to improve that. So I'm gonna go back to R&D. I'm gonna look at this. Does this look good? Okay, but all those changes take place in marketing. So I'm gonna try. Let's see if I increase my price, what happens? Let me see. It's going to 49. Okay, that's some improvement. So I'm just gonna leave it at that and say, okay, let's sell at 34.50 instead of 34.25. And for promo from what we saw in the simulation, the practice round, we don't need to spend a lot to get 75%. 1,000 to 1,750. We'll leave it at that. Let's see what happens to our score for 9.4. Still not bad, but we want to get 70. That's our goal. That's our plan. So let's increase our forecast, right? Based on the fact that we based on our strategy, we're thinking we might be able to push the sales just a little bit. So we're gonna increase this, right? Then we'll go to Germany, and uh Germany won't take more of the market. So let's increase this because we added the act was that AI is not going to partake. One of the AI companies is not going to partake in the market, so we're going to take their market shares, right? So let's just increase this to 1 2 and see. But then we're also thinking that the forecast is 520, right, for Germany. That's what we're thinking. Hmm. Let's maybe we're just being a bit too aggressive. Let's leave it at 500. And for China, we said 480. Let's leave it at that. Let's increase. Go one more market. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Where's our performer? How are we doing? 49. Still not where we want to be. But that's something we've not done. So yeah, let's add a new product, right? It takes 1 year for the product to be out. So let's add a new product. Let's call it, I don't know, what name is great? What name? Adams, Natic, and it's gonna be awesome. So let's use all because it's gonna be an high-tech product. So for this high-tech product, where should it be? How should we position it? So we'll go to the high-tech market. We'll look at this. Where should we position this? Speed 8.1, accuracy 8.1. But this is in 2026. If we put it 8.1 for speed and accuracy and service life 17,000 or 20. Let's leave it at 17,000. Let's start from there. See. It's going to be out in 2027. That's not even in this year. So it's going to be in 2027. Now, it takes 1 year for the product to be ready, right? But guess what? It's going to be available in April of 2027. So the first 3 months, it's not going to be in the market. April will be the only products in the market in the first 3 months of 2027. This is now thinking about round two, right? But in round two, because if you remember, I mentioned the ID position moves by 0.7. So in round two, the ID position will be 8.8, not 8.1. So if it's not going to be ready in 2026 when the ID position is 8.1, it's ready in 2027, I should strategize and position this for 2027. It's going to be ready in July. Because if I increase the service life, what happens? Let's see if we increase the service life. Oh, it moves the date. No, we got to be in the market early with the fresh, brown new product. Nah, got to get into the market with the new product that is the exact ID position in 2027. Zero age, 17,000 service life, which is the required service life, which is within the margin, and a price that will kill it. Man, round two will take over the high-tech market. You see, that's how to think about it. And so this is a product we're going to go with. This is exactly what we're going to do. Now, let's see what our report looks like. 48, it's jumped up a bit. Okay, let's keep going. So, but how do we determine what we're going to produce? Because you can't do the product's not out, so you can't be in the market, so no marketing plan. For production, you can buy capacity for the year to come. So, what will be the right capacity to buy? how do we know what size of market we want to take for the high tech market? So that's the question. But we also don't want to compete with able, right? So what we do in this case is we have to go back to the the report from round zero, which is the initial report we got to determine what size of the market can we take. That's the question. So now, how do I determine this? I go to the high tech market. Is all this encompassing. So just go to the high tech market in China, for instance. If you increase this by 32%, that will be the value in 2026. But note, we're planning for 2027 already. That's a strategy. So we're going to increase this by 32%, which is 347. So let me bring out my calculator so you can see how I do this. So for China market, right, increase 263 by 32%, by 32%. So this is going to be the market size for China high tech market in 2025, in 2026. I'm sorry, but the product will be out in 2027, so we need to plan for 2027. So in 2027, the market size will be times another 32%. So this will be the market size in 2027. And we're going to apply that to the three high tech markets. Now, note we'll sell a few in the low tech market, but that's not the goal, right? The goal is really focus on the high tech market. We'll sell one, two, maybe five in the low tech market. That's fine. So China is going to be at 448, right? And we're going to add that to do the same. We calculate the same maths for US market and for German high tech market. Add them together, it gives you a total divided by 6, because that's assuming everybody has equal market as at 2026 January. Everyone had equal market as at 2025. So you divide it by 6, you get the figure, and that will give you around 450 ish, 500. So that's how you determine the size of the market. So when you do that math, it gives you around that figure. I'm just going to settle for 500 and one automation for now because I'm investing. I don't want to just pump it up. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You can see I already spent 12 million on the plant. But let's see, how does this affect our performer? Or my still 48. Okay. So, yeah. So this is good. It's all right. So let's say 450. Yeah, 450. Let's leave it at that. Because note, the reason I said I put it at 450 is because it will double. So your capacity this is for one shift. So it will double. So your capacity with the second shift, you can do 500, you can do 900. So it says the capacity level refers to the first shift capacity. The first shift capacity that is available for production this year in thousands of units. For example, if your capacity is 1,200, you can produce 1.2 million. You can produce 1.2 million units on the first shift this year at the rate of 100,000 units per month, basically. So that's what it's saying, right? So, yeah. So because of that, we're taking out all the long debt. Because we're spending some money in marketing, and because we're now added in investments, we're going to take a short-term loan. We're going to take a small loan, a really small loan, because I like to be conservative. Okay. Let's see how does our performance look. It's now at 50, so we're getting somewhere, right? Um, I don't know how much time I spent, but this video is really long. Then finally, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna go back to Able and look at where I can make some improvements, and let's see. So let's say I have 5.8, 5 point. Let's move this to let's leave it like June. No, research development. I think this is we go with this. I think we are good with this. I'll go with this. No, this is not where the changes have to happen. Marketing and production. Yes, this is where we have to make the changes. Marketing and production. So China. Oh, I see. I was wondering now why is it so low? So now here's my error. China, I did not pick a price, right? So I got to pick a price. Same strategy, put it in between the two, between low tech, 170, high tech is 170 to 305, low tech is 100 to 240, and I will pick, let's say, 230, 30 230. Let's put it in between 240 right now. Let's say at 238. I like to put, point something. Yeah, I don't know, that's just me. I like to point something. Yeah, let's leave it at this. Now let's see what our performance looks like. Yeah, now we're at 71%. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, I knew something was off. I was like, okay. So now we're good. And that's what we're talking about. We have a product in development for 2027 that will come out. Um, yeah, it's gonna be out in. I'm not gonna make a second. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave just one product. It's gonna be out in July. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 27, that's fine. So also that informed my capacity decision because in July we're only gonna have to sell, maybe if we're aggressive we get 600 across the three markets, maybe 700, but we have a capacity of 900. Then the following year we can increase capacity and automation. So that's the way to go. So I think this is great. I hope this is helpful, and I'm gonna save my rounds. And yeah, I hope you guys, I'm going to load it up. Yeah, save all of the decisions, and I'm going to inform my teammates the decisions that have been made. And please stay with me. I'm going to come back to you and show you the result of this round. Thank you.